I cannot imagine the last time things were going as poorly for Republicans as they are now. And oh boy, is it so delicious, especially because Democrats are ready to pounce on it. We are now seeing Democrats announce that in the absence of the Republican town halls, which have been canceled across the country, they are going to show up to deep red districts and not only try to convince the Republicans in those districts, but make a national message about how Donald Trump has betrayed his own party and how Democrats are showing up. And we're going to see this more and more as more and more Republicans cancel their town halls. And of course, they're going to because they are always humiliated. And we saw some of that humiliation from Republican Mike Lawler, who had boos rain down on him during a speech. It was humiliating. We're going to check it out. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already, and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really does mean a lot to me. Now, before we get into Mike Lawler, I want to hear the response plan by Democrats from AOC, and 2 clips right here.
I mean, listen, if your representative is not doing a town hall, give me a ring. I mean, I don't know if an R+25 district would have me, but I'm always willing to be proven wrong. And I mean, I'll say it right here, right now. If a deep red Republican district wants to have an honest conversation, even if it's with someone they disagree with, I'm willing to do that. You know, I'm willing to meet with Republicans and just, you know, be honest about where I stand, where they stand. We can explain, you know, and understand each other better. But I definitely think it creates a vacuum. And even if it's not a Democratic member, people can host community town halls. You don't need a member of Congress to host a town hall, and just host one without them.
We cannot give up on winning the hearts and minds of our fellow Americans, okay? These Republicans, I'm telling you all, they are getting scared. Trump not mentioning Medicaid at the State of the Union is the game. He doesn't talk about what he fears. And he knows it's dynamite. The House Republicans know that it's dynamite for them. That's why they're talking about not hosting town halls. We need to be creatively organizing in Republican districts. They are afraid of this. I'm telling you. If they weren't afraid of it, they would continue to be hosting their town halls. If they weren't afraid of it, Trump would have said something. The reason they're trying not to host the town halls, and the reason that Trump is not even using the word Medicaid at the State of the Union speech, is precisely because they don't want people talking about it, and they don't want people making noise about it. So what we need to do is that if you are near a Republican district, which a lot of people are, if you are near a Republican district, and not even if you're near a Republican district, if you are in a Republican district and your Republican is not hosting a town hall, it's time to do community town halls. It's time to do community teach-ins. It is time to start advertising their absence, okay? Advertise their absence.
Democrats are going to these districts. Democrats are reaching out to, we don't even need to call them Trump voters. We don't need to call them MAGA voters. We need to call them disaffected voters. These are people who are currently being betrayed and who are waking up to the truth that we tried to tell them, that Donald Trump was going to screw them over. And now he is. And of course, there are moments where it's a little bit therapeutic to do the I told you so shtick. But what's more therapeutic is crushing Donald Trump in the midterms, taking back the House, the Senate, winning the presidency, moving voters over, not just in one election, but every election going forward, because they know a Republican Congress and a Republican president is going to screw them. And that is why they are reacting in such an angry way, as they should. And that is why Mike Lawler is hearing boos like this.
I understand the concern. Now, I understand that and everyone here relies on these critical programs and services. But to be clear, the government has $36 billion in debt and a $7 trillion budget. If we do not find savings throughout the entirety of the federal government, these vital programs will be exempted. The objective is to make sure that within the system, that we do eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse, and that we ensure that the funds needed for you and your loved ones are there.
Oh, what a sweet, sweet sound. Oh, what a sweet, 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 sweet sound. I love it. And he's just kind of trying to get through it, but clearly sad. Oh, they're booing me. Oh, boo. Well, maybe stop trying to take away people's health care. It's like, maybe stop trying to take away funding for pediatric cancer research so Elon can get a bigger tax cut. Then maybe you won't hear the boos. But considering that Mike Lawler is a Republican, he's probably going to cancel his town halls. But if he doesn't, they're a little close to where I am. And I'm thinking about maybe showing up and giving him a piece of my mind. So maybe stick around for that. But like I said, Democrats have the opportunity to pounce on these events. And it's exactly what good friend of the show, Jim McGovern, did. And a clip I want to check out right here.
Farmers tell me that uncertainty complicates and frustrates their livelihoods. And we're living in a time of great uncertainty. And just for the record, I don't think we can pretend like the last 3 weeks haven't even happened. We can't ignore what this administration is saying and doing. Mr. Chairman, the state of the rural economy in this country is declining by the minute because Donald Trump has decided to let Elon Musk put billionaires first and America last. I mean, come on. Tariffs against our closest allies and ag trading partners, gutting science programs while bird flu rips through poultry and livestock, freezing money that has been promised to farmers for ongoing projects. Do my colleagues really think these are good for rural America? Trying to illegally purge the career staff at USDA, who we all know try to help rural communities, demagoguing programs that provide a legal immigrant workforce for our farmers, destroying global food aid programs that our farmers rely on every day to sell what they grow and produce. These things are not America first. These are policies of people who do not care about rural America at all. So let me just say this as clearly as I can, Mr. Chairman. The rural economy of this country is in big trouble unless things change. Now, let me make this as simple as I can for people. USAID purchases $2 billion, that's billion with a B, worth of U.S. commodities every year. Grown by who? Grown by American farmers. That's soybeans, rice, wheat, sorghum, the vast majority of which are grown not in my district, but in your districts, in red states, in many of your districts. And then some weirdo named Elon, who's probably never set foot on a farm in his life, just decided to end it all, to eliminate entire markets for our commodity growers while prices are already low. And spare me the rebuttal of, quote, food aid was exempted from Elon's shutdown. That's BS. We are hearing from people on the front lines that is BS. Even the USAID Office of the Inspector General just said yesterday, and I quote, uncertainty about the scope of foreign assistance waivers and permissible communications with implementers has degraded USAID's ability to distribute and safeguard taxpayer-funded humanitarian assistance, end quote. So more than 475,000 metric tons of American food commodities valued at $450 million that were scheduled or in transit are now at risk of being wasted. And more than 29,000 metric tons of food commodities valued at $39 million are sitting on the floor of USAID warehouses in Houston. And I'm hearing reports that the so-called waiver of food aid is not helpful because these waivers are impossible to obtain. The freeze is already having dramatic consequences on rural communities. Companies that buy massive amounts of soy and peanuts to treat childhood malnutrition are shutting down. And these shutdowns are going to hit rural America like a ton of bricks. So I'm just saying to my Republican colleagues, is this what America first means to you? Sticking it to your own farmers by ripping the rug out from under them? Great job. I'm sure you'll go on TV talking about how great Trump is while he totally screws over the people we represent. So with that, I have a question for Mr. Weinzierl that I hope you can answer quickly. A simple yes or no is fine. If USAID is successfully dismantled and stops buying commodities for global food aid at over $2 billion, would that have a ripple effect on the farm economy, and do you think it would create uncertainty for our farmers?
I am not an expert in this area. There are a couple programs in USAID that I do see of value, which you've mentioned. One, the commodities, soy, and there's actually a corn-soy mix. I don't know if the amount there would be effective of the price,
Right.
but I think that's important.
Right, but I mean, common sense tells you if, $2 billion is taken off the table, which is used to purchase farm commodities, who makes up that market? Let me just say one other thing, Mr. Chairman. We have 47 million people who are hungry in this country. And I had hoped that America First meant that we're going to try to feed them. And I guess I was wrong, because I hear that the Republican leadership is still pursuing $150 billion in cuts to SNAP to give more handouts to billionaires. And I'd like to point out that some of the poorest counties in the country are in rural America, and among the largest number of eligible SNAP beneficiaries live in rural America. And the majority of them, by the way, they work. The party who proclaims to be America First is screwing over our farmers and making it harder for people in rural communities to survive. This unified Republican government hasn't done one damn thing to support regular people or help them put food on the table. The House Agriculture Committee is holding a hearing this morning about the economic crisis in farm country. Newsflash, it's declining by the minute because Donald Trump and Elon Musk work for the billionaires and not for regular people. This self-proclaimed America First crowd is threatening tariffs against our closest trading partners and upending food aid that is shipped by American farmers. The last trade war started by this president cost American farmers $27 billion in exports. And here's the sick part. Republicans are cheering him on because they want to use the money they steal from the American people, from farmers, and from SNAP recipients to give billionaires a tax break. That's not America First. That's not supporting our rural economy. It's a sham deal for working people. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.
Farmers overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump. And now, because of cuts to USAID and the general attacks of the Trump administration on every American without $1 billion in their bank account, they are being screwed. And it is, of course, the time to capitalize on that and bring them into our coalition. We have to continue to have this conversation. We have to continue to not only just call out Donald Trump, but offer up the alternative. It's what Jim McGovern is doing there. As you all know, one of my favorite communicators in the Democratic Party. And we're going to be doing it on this show as well, because I am also one of my favorite communicators in the Democratic Party. We have a little self-love on this show. That's okay. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video. And if you stuck around at the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.